Good afternoon, everyone. This is going to be a recap of what we had today in our session on Google Form. So I'm going to make it a quick recap so that, okay, so what we learned today is on electronics form. Specifically, we look on Google Form. The Google Form training is the part of our training at the bottom of the concept, the training on data entry and record keeping training. And the training is scheduled to start from July 15 to August 15. It's going to be like a month training. And we're going to cover a lot of things, covering the introduction, cloud storage, some data entry tools, electronic forms, sales invoicing software, tracking expenses, data project management, Microsoft Excel, Google Sheet, PowerPoint, payroll management, and payslip. Talk about inventory software, scheduling meetings, and the rest. So these are some of the things we're going to take care of during the session. At bottom of the concept, these are what we offer as services. We offer account services, business registrations and other services, tax registration and filings, account services, and inventory software. We sell softwares and support. We also train on how to use Sage 50, QuickBook, Teleprime, and the rest. And finally, we have other trainings like Excel, data entry, and data analysis. So under this last category of data entry, that's where the current training falls. That is about Google Form and Wood training. So when we talk about Google Form or electronic form, we're talking about the forms that can be used instead of the physical form that we carry all along all this while. The form that we use for so many transactions like survey, polls, registrations, feedback, quizzes, contact forms, all the various forms that we use, we can replace them with Google Form. And advantage of Google Form is that, or electronic form is that, is easy to collate. You have your report as it's coming, and doesn't it reduce human error when somebody has to retype or recollate or miss something. As you have filling it as they're submitting, you're getting your response instantly. So there are various some of forms where we have the like of forms, Microsoft forms, Jot forms, type forms, and the rest. So we have all this type of form, but this time around we are looking at Google Forms only, just a Google form. And these are the areas we're going to cover in this short video, just about 30 minutes video. So I will ensure that it's not more than 30 minutes. So we're going to start from creating a form, naming a form, adding and deleting questions, marking question required, short answers and the rest, and up to adding collaborators and transfer ownership to another person while using Google Form. So now, how do we get into the form? So how do we get into Google Form? If you are using mobile phone, the best option is to use forms.google.com. So from here, you are going straight into your Google Form. And if you are using laptop, once you log in into your Chrome or any Google or any of your Google account, you see this 9 dot here. So this 9 dot shows all applications that you have from Google, free applications that you have from Google that are mostly used applications. So you have Google Form here. So you can have it here. And if you go into your Google Drive also, from Google Drive, you can also go into your Google Form also. So from here, click on new and you see a Google Form here. So you can also get to Google Form from here. So those are the different areas from your Gmail, from wherever you have, you can always get into your Google Form. So when you go into Google Form, you have blank template here. Start a new form. And we have some customized template here that can be used for whatever you want to use for. So if you find any of these templates useful for you, go ahead and just do a little edit. Like in this case, we use the contact information as an example during the class. So if you look at this, so what we have here is just the name, email address, phone numbers, and comment. So if this satisfies what we need, just change the name on the left side there, you can see the name here. Just click on this, change the name you have here, and give a new name you want to give to your form. So contact form. This one. If this name you want to give to the form, give it a name, and you want to add anything to this place, description of what the form is all about, go ahead and do that. And that's all. So you preview the form, and the form is ready to fill. Just give it to the people to fill, and you start receiving responses instantly. So this is how Google Form look like. Now, what I want to learn now is how do we now create form from scratch? This is what we have from as a template. How do we create from scratch? So I'm clicking on this blank form now. I'm clicking on the blank form. So with this blank form, so the first thing we're going to look at is how to name the form, which we just did. From this side, you name your form, new expense form. So let's assume this is the name we want to give to our form. This is a form, and so the first thing now, so the name is ready now. The other thing now is from here. So you may want to add logo of your company or whatever. You click on this customize theme here. From customize theme here, you can choose image, and you can change the font of the header here. You can change the font of the header, and you can also change the color of the theme here. Also, the background, everything you can do. All this one, the size of the font and other things. So let's choose image here. Let's just look for a random image. You can upload from your system or whatsoever. So let's look at something to illustration. And so let's pick something like this. So let's preview this form now in our new form. So we have our logo here, run that or run whatever. So we have the logo ready. So that's it. That's how Google Form can be as easy as that. So from here, now I'm writing a description. This is used for requisition purpose. So we have that. If you want to format all this, you can go ahead and do formatting. You can bold in it, you can put in next list and do whatever you want to do. If you want to list anything here, you can go ahead and list it also. So next thing I'm going to look at is how to add questions now. How do we add questions to our form? So the first thing we have here, we have untitled question. There is one question that comes untitled question that comes naturally when you open a new Google form. So let's give a name to this name. Let's make this name. So by default, you see that Google has suspected that this is kind of a short form response. Yeah, good. So we have a short form response here. So which is good. So sometimes your answer can be paragraph. You can also choose a paragraph depending on the kind of response you are expecting. So what we have here is a short answer. The answer can be paragraph. It can also be multiple choice. So let's add another question here. Yeah, let's create a multiple choice question. Let's make this one department. Depending on the kind of form you want to build. So in this case, we are going to make this one multiple choice, and this one we have account. We have admin. We have sales, and that's all. So sometimes we want to add others. If we want to add others, we put this, which means that whoever pick others will explain what the other stand for. So let's quickly view it from preview. Click on preview here. Let's see what we have here. So we have the name, we have department. So it means that if somebody come here and type the name, hit and pick this and submit the form. So that's good to go. If anybody pick the others, it's going to explain what the other stand for. If you pick this, submit another response. If you pick this, you are going to explain what the other stand for. So it will ask for others. Let's say we have Ojo here, and others will not be what? Will be operation. So now we have two responses ready. So that's one of the benefits of using electronic form. As you're submitting, you're getting your response real time. So if you click on response, you're going to see the response of each of them. We have Ojo and this, somebody from account and somebody from operation. So you can see the map here, the chart here. So let's quickly move on. So the next thing we have are other options here. Let's go back to the question. We have other options here, like drop down also. Sometimes you don't want to use the multiple choice, you can use drop down. So they work the same way. And if you come to the form here, you want to click on that form. So you see the drop down button here where you can pick your response. So, but in some cases you want to pick more than one response. If you need somebody to pick more than one response, go ahead, you use checkbox. So the person will have the opportunity to pick more than one response. Let's preview and they come here. So the person can now say, okay, I can pick more than one response there, and name is Salam. Me, Okonko, and submit. So you submit, you have to pick, you can use more than one response. That is it. So that is how to get all those done. So let me go back to the question. Okay. So from here, so let's go back to the question and look at other options that we have here. So from the response, from the option here, we also have file upload. Sometimes you want somebody to upload. I'm adding a new question now. I'm adding a new question here. Let's say you want somebody to upload payment evidence or CV or whatever, payment evidence. So you can quickly come here and click on this. So here we now determine what kind of form you want people to submit. Do you want to make it specific or just any record? So if you're going to be a PDF, pick PDF, and how many files you want them to upload, maximum of 5, and the file size too. So you select the kind of files you want and the maximum file whatever you want here. So when you have something like this, now if you preview this now, it will give you option to upload something. So you can click on this now and it will open a dialog box for you to upload whatever you want to upload from here. So from the question, so the next thing we have here is the other grid. There are some responses that are grid responses here also. Let's go back. Let's add another question. Add another question. So from this, I'm going to pick the linear scale. Linear scale question is about, let's say, something like ratings or the rest. Something like rating, rate something services. For customer care, after you have attended somebody, you can say 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 on the scale of good to bad. Let's say 1 has been the good and 10 has been bad. So with this, we want to see how good or how bad our services are in set of customers. So you can come in and you see that everybody can now have access to pick between 1 being the best and the bad being the least numbers here. That is how to use a linear scale. We also have other options like grid. So we have this kind of grid here. Let me add a new question and use grid here. Let's create a new description. We have item description, something like this, and once we pick multiple choice grid or checkbox grid, they look alike. Okay, description. So let's say we have the first one to be plant machineries, and we have this to be motor vehicle. So we can say, okay, on column 1, we can say, okay, new. Here we can say fairly used. We can say, okay, we have old. So with this now, let's preview. Let's see how it's going to look like. Click on preview. So while filling the form, you see that you have options under the item description. You can say, okay, machinery is new and motor vehicle is rarely used. So you give them the average rating, upload something, and submit. Say the account department or admin department, and then the name of the person is David. So with this, you can quickly submit, and the person gets the response automatically. So we have 4 responses here immediately. That's David's response. So as we are doing it, we are getting the response automatically. You see, we are getting the response automatically. That is one of the beauty of using electronic form. So you don't need to type it and somebody make mistake and or change the figure. Whatever the person is inputting, we are getting it immediately. So let's go back to the question. So we have the next one here is similar to this. So the multiple choice grid, we have checkbox grid. We have the checkbox grid. Checkbox grid is just like a multiple choice grid, except that you can select more than one option in case of checkbox, just like the checkbox part and multiple choice too. So let's click on this and preview. Let's preview it and see how it's going to look like using this. So you can see that now you can select more than one option on the grid. You can select more than one option on a row. So that is how to make. So when you have something that give people access to, when you give access to 2 or more, one or more than one response, you use this grid. So the next thing we look at was date and time. So we also have the option of adding date and time in this. So the option is you can always pick your date here, pick date as option, and you can determine whether to include year or not. Remember that if you are doing a filling a form that we want you to pick the date or time, so you can include time here. So when you preview this, you have access, you have opportunity to include your date at the same time to add time. This is the month and day, no year, because we have removed the date and the time is there. So it's possible the person will pick AM or PM. But when you have a full date, if you have a full date like this, let's add the year. So and preview now. So with the full date, you'll be able to pick your date calendar. Calendar will be here. You can pick calendar from the full date. So anybody can just fill the form now and submit this form. So another area we're going to look at is how to make a form compulsory, the question compulsory. Let's look at this form. You can just fill anyone and submit now. Okay, let me just go here now. Let me submit on the response on this new as a form. I will just enter something, okay, just like a 2 or 3 and submit. No date, nothing, and submit. It will submit. Your response has been recorded. And if you come here, you see that we have on the response, there's no name. Then we will not have the names, but other information will be recorded. No date, response. So, but what happens when you make a question compulsory? Then you click on this required here. You have the required information here. When you click on require on the question, while you are typing your question, if you click on required there, then the question becomes a compulsory question that somebody must answer before you can submit. So let's quickly see if this will work. Let's preview this again. Let's go back to, let's fill something here, and we'll leave this asterisk area out of it. We call this one Shina. Shina is filling the form now, and it has fulfilled all righteousness now. It has do this, pick date, and the date was actually yesterday, and it has picked this, it has button this machine and submit. So you see that this is a required question. So we cannot submit unless we pick something from it. So when you don't want somebody to omit any of the question, you have to make that particular question mandatory or compulsory. So in short, we want to look at creating form, naming forms, adding descriptions, marking the required question, short answer question, all this of the file of date and time, validation. Okay, so validation, we're going to look at validation, duplication, and the YouTube videos. Okay, validation, how do you validate? Validation comes here. Here, this is how you validate responses. Here you discover, you validate responses, what you want, the kind of response you want. Somebody is adding others here. The others should be what? Should be at least, at most, at least, exactly, whatever number, what should be there. You can always do that. And like in this case now, here we have the name, short name or long name, whatever. You can validate here. You validation here. You select the length of the character you want. Regular expression should be this. So each of these response has its own this. You see that when you change this, it will change also. Let's try the validation again here, and you see that it has changed. This has changed again immediately. So you can select the length of what you want. The text should be maximum of maybe 5 characters or 6 characters, or you use a text. It must be text, no number. The text must contain, maybe it will be text contain or something like art. So get it? So contain emails. So whatever like that, something like this. Can just validate. That's about validation. You're validating the response so that if somebody is writing the response has not putting this word there, it will not accept whatever the person is submitting. So also when you want to remove a question, you can click on this delete. When you hit this delete, this document here, it's going to delete the question, and you can duplicate your question by hitting on this duplicate button here. You can see that we now have 2 names now. Name. You can say, okay, we can call this name first name. We have this one to be what? To be last name. That's surname, last name. And we have this short name there. So when you have something like this, remove the validation now for now. So you can see the first name and the last name here. And that is it. That's how to do those ones. So we have inserting image, videos, and the rest. So let's insert video. So just like we did earlier for the headers, we can also do the same thing. Let's add a new question. This question this time around now, we want to add image to this. Click on this add image here. And then from the Google image, you can pick which option you want. Like I think we use catfish image. So catfish, and we pick this. So you can now come here and say, okay, what kind of fish, what type, of fish is this? So with one, what type of fish is this? So with this, you can quickly come here. Oh, where is the image? Where is the image? I think we picked the image already. Okay, the image is there. It's down. So, okay. So you can quickly add your question and your response to it. So let's bring down this for now. We already have one here. So you can add your question here, image title, and then you add your responses to it. So then the other thing we look at is adding videos. If you want to add a video to your question, you can come ahead and click on this. Here there's a limitation. You can only add a YouTube video. Either you search or you bring the URL here. You can paste the URL of the YouTube video, or you start the video here. Okay, we say BMC tutors. We have VLOOKUP, something like this, and then you chat this. So you can quickly go ahead and add this to your listing. Then add description, add your response, whatever you want to add, go ahead and add it to that. So the next thing we look at was how to divide form into sections. So if you have more than one section for your form, you use this last option here. So after this, let's add this now. I'm adding the next option now. Now here I can determine what happened after the first section. After first section, I want everybody to submit or go to section 2. This is where I will determine what happens. I can say okay, submit, and I make this one, this place official for official use only. So we have this for official use only here for now, and we can now begin to add more and more questions also here. What I want to put in the name of the officer, name of the clinical approver, so all those things we had them here also. Oh, okay, so that is that. Okay, let's say you want somebody to, maybe somebody fill a form. You have a form where you want somebody to agree to the terms. You can also add it. You can add a question here and put I agree to terms and conditions. No, yeah. So and you have a checkbox here. So you have a checkbox here to be yes, I agree. Or maybe you write everything here. You write your terms rather. Write your terms, all the terms, whatever. I is also person. I understand. I've read. Sorry. I have read and understand whatever. Write everything as you write it there, and you come here, make it a checkbox and say I agree. I agree. So you make it a compulsory question. So either the person agree or not. So if you don't agree, you cannot fill the form. So let's look at this, something like this, and make it a required text. So it's going to look like something like this. So whereby you fill the form by agree before you submit. You have to agree to the terms and you submit from there. You don't agree, then you cannot submit with the form. So go back to the new form. So here, under this place now. So the next thing we want to look at is adding the responses now. Let's look at responses now. So how do you get response to your form? From response here, you see this option link to sheet. If you click on this, it's going to open a new spreadsheet for you. Create this, a new spreadsheet, and you can see it creating all the response we have submitted so far. You can see them here. So everything as you are submitting your response, you'll be seeing the response here. And once somebody upload anything, you're going to see it in your cloud. You're going to show in your cloud, in your Google Drive, wherever it's submitted. So you can see everything we have done here now. Everything we have done are here. So that is how to get your response. And you can also do more than that. From here, you can select destination. You can unlink form from that Excel. You can unlink and link another Excel form. You can download your form, your responses. You can also print your responses from here. You can click on this and print your response. So and you can delete all responses. So nobody have control over this except the person who owns this form only. Except the person who owns the form. And how do you send the form? So when you click on send, you have this option. Option 1 is to send by email. And when you send to email, you can also determine, like I said, you can determine whether you want it to be filled in the form. You want the person nurtured to Excel at gmail.com. Onward. So, and you can say, okay, I want collect email. Here, this is when you select this. When you want to collect email from people, you use this option, and I'm going to select. You're going to collect their email addresses from there. So you want the form to this gray out. Okay, if you send this, it will not. The person will see the link. I will click on it, and it's going to work like that. But if you check this box, Let me refresh this. If you check the box there, if you check this box, it's going to open the mail just like ordinary mail, and the person can fill it directly from. Let me quickly open. Let me open a Gmail so that the person can fill the form right from within his server, something like this. So you have it like this in the form. So not like a link. You fill it directly here and you submit from your Gmail directly. So that is when you check that box for that. And also you can make your form a quiz. When you have something like this, you can say, okay, I want this thing to be a quiz. Go to settings and make it a quiz. So this time around is now a question and answer, whereby you can add question and also answer. So the person who missed it will know he missed it, and as they're submitting, they can get their response immediately or later after review. So let's quickly look at what can happen here. Let's go back to this is a new form. Adding now. Let's say how old is our governor? How old is our governor? Then here we have 37, 56 years. We have 36 years, 35 years, and we have 56 of under options. We have 70 years. And you come to answer key here. From answer key, you select which one is the answer. Let's say we select this and click done. So if you give this out now, let's preview this form. And we have selected this as answer. If somebody pick this and submit. So they are submitted. If you want to fill the score and view this, the person will see that this is correct answer 56. He has missed this. That's when you have set. If you set your answer that your settings that the person should know the missed question, the correct answer. So if you want to put comments, all these ones you can always go through them and understand what they stand for. So these are the default things that come with that settings. So finally, I also had how to add collaborators to read, how to add collaborators, or how to transfer ownership to the form. To the form. So let's quickly look at that. Okay. Got that. So we have this. So like I said earlier, the full training that we are having is going to start by 15th of July, and it's going to be like a 1 month training, and the cost is just 20,000 naira only. So this training is actually good for anyone who want to expand his knowledge about how to use computer to generate some extra income or to become better at his workplace. Wherever you are working, you can actually learn all these things can be used in various ways to support your businesses, your company. If you are a business owner and you want to learn how to keep your record, do it yourself. You can always come and learn all these tools and use them to support your businesses. And if you are the type that want to do a kind of side hustle, or you don't have a job, you want to learn how to support businesses around you, you can learn this skill. These skills are also good for you. Or somebody who is you have employees, you can enroll your employees. The employee can enroll himself also. You have a young graduate who does not have job, can actually enroll them. So all these everything here is just going for 20,000 naira, and with that we are going to add some additional courses like AI, ChatGPTs, and some other things to the training too. And most of these trainings, all the software are basically cloud softwares. Most of this software, we may not install more than one or two software at the end of the day, but most software we are going to use are actually cloud-based, and most of them are free or cheap software that we can learn how to use them and make a living out of it. So if you are interested, you can always chat me up with my phone number on WhatsApp +234 809165 3854 or 234 7039 071675. So you can always reach out to me using either of them, either of the two lines, that is 080 9165 3854 070 3907 1675. So you can also use the email bratu.multiconcepts@gmail.com. I use bratu.multiconcepts@gmail.com, or you use WhatsApp. So either of them you actually get across to me. Now, how do we add collaborators here? When you click on this send, when you click on send, you have options to add a collaborator here. I'm clicking on send button here. On the send button, you have add editor. So the moment you add an editor to a form, you can add somebody, like add editor to a form and click send. So once the person accepts to be an editor of that form, now you can now it will be easy for you. Without accepting, you can't transfer ownership of the form to him. But once the person accepted to be an editor, whatever edit the person made on his on the form, whatever edit the person made on the form, you're going to see the edit immediately. You're going to see it just as you are doing it, you are seeing it immediately. He's doing it, you are seeing it immediately. So as you are doing, you are collaborating online, you both of you are seeing what is happening to the form live, just like that. You are seeing it live. And like the example we had, the form we had earlier, you see that it will be easy from there. You can quickly just go ahead and transfer the ownership to it. Okay, we uploaded something here before. So you can quickly go ahead and transfer the ownership to the person. You see the option of transfer ownership to the person. Let me look at this, the form. So we have something like this, invitation to this. So you entitled form. Then click on this, accept this. So once you accept, and the person now can now come here again now and say, okay, this form, I want to transfer ownership to editor. Let's add editor again, and can transfer ownership to this. Let's transfer ownership to him, and he will become the owner of the form. So that is another way of transfer ownership. Also, while sending, you can also use link. You can use link. This is a link, and you can shorten the link also. You can copy this link now and give it out to people who want to fill out this form. Just copy the link and give it to people who want to fill the form, who will fill the form and submit the form to you. So that is it. So thank you for taking your time to watch through this, and I hope you gain one or two things from it. So don't forget, if you want to register for the forthcoming training, we're starting next week Saturday, and perhaps we are looking at having another free training next week, perhaps Friday also. So if you are interested, you will receive the message from us on perhaps a cloud storage system. Cloud storage, how to use it, and the federal cloud storage, how to get access to free storage and the rest. Thank you for your time.